right now and see who is going to make it to day 2 of GP Bologna. Let's get to it. What's up, nerds? Time for more magic from GP Bologna. Great to have you along in the booth with you, Riley Knight, and in with the booth with me, Raphael Levy, the French Hall of Famer. It's great to have everyone along for our last round of magic for day number 1. Round number 8, these guys at 5-2. This is the 3rd time we've seen this team in the feature match area, and I tell you what, it is now finally all or nothing. Andrei Strasky, Thomas Hendricks, Ivan Flock versus Morey Sibak and Daniello. And Raf at 5-2, this is their very last chance to make it through to day 2. The loser of this match goes home. Everyone goes home.
It's winning in, losing.
Lose and come back tomorrow and draft.
Or just out.
Yeah, that's the way that it goes. And, Andrei Strasky kicking things off now with a 2-mana 1-1 that turns into a 2-mana 2-2.
Yeah, we made that joke last time.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, everybody goes home at the end of the round.
Did we really?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was a cracker, to be honest.
That was a good one.
But here's a good one. I'll tell you this much: it is Traxos, the Scourge of Krug. Down it comes for Matteo Moria, 4-mana 7/7. Going to be a nice one in conjunction with that Pegasus here. Although with Trample, it's already very easy for Traxos to get the damage in.
It's good to have it online on turn 4. So as soon as you play an artifact, a legendary creature or legendary spell, or a saga, you're going to untap.
It's going to untap here. And we're going to see the Davenant Trapper tap down the Pegasus Corsair.
Nope.
Which means that we can get in for some damage here. 6 damage coming across after Quende, the Pride of Femerif, joins the party.
This is not a historic spell, so no untapsies. Mesa Unicorn, 2/2 lifelink.
Pretty unimpressive card, to be honest. Look at that horn. That is an obscenely long horn. Ridiculous tail as well. And the mane. Everything about this unicorn is just... It's like someone has been told what a unicorn or what a horse looks like and then just sort of like put all the sliders to the maximum.
I think it's just to paint.
This is like
it's not the actual animal.
Oh, okay.
It's just a painting of what it is.
Okay. Sure. This is a Monster Factory. Within Monster Factory, a unicorn here. All the sliders straight to the end of the end there.
Yeah. What I believe is a dog.
Yes, Traxos is good. Yeah, I remember reading that it was a dragon, but sure, it looks a little bit like a little doggo there.
A big dog.
A very large doggo, yeah, that's fair to say. I like how instead of having birds for scale, they've just got a person, just one person in the the bottom right-hand corner is like, oh jeez, I'm in a world of pain here.
Where's the bone? Where's the bone for the dog? A metal bone.
Metal bone?
Yeah,
for a metal dog.
Yeah.
I don't think he chews on. I think he chews on the souls of his enemies. To be honest, this guy done a lot of work, although it can be wildly inconsistent.
So Matteo is representing Gideon's Reproach, I believe.
Here's a Song of Freyalise. Tap down the Macy Unicorn, thanks to the Davenant Trapper, and following it up now. Oh, look at this, an Aether Glider as well means that we're going to get in. Wow, look at this, 10 damage.
And there's no reproach.
Gets on.
Oh wow.
No, sorry, more than that, isn't it?
That was pretty.
11.
And convincing turn 4 from Matteo.
I mean, you just jam anyway, even if that reproach is in hand.
We said there were not a lot of turn 5 or turn 6 or turn 7 kills.
No, well, this is
one of them.
This is incredibly aggressive here from Andrei Strasky, who is threatening lethal next turn.
The thing is, we are seeing one of the only cards that can allow that. And that's Shanna.
Oh, hello. Here is Teferi, the hero of Dominaria, not only untapping Traxos, but this goes some way to explain Morey's line here, because he played the Traxos, it was tapped, and then had nothing to do next turn because he didn't have that 5th land.
Right.
So, Teferi is going to tuck away one of these permanents here. And it's the Davenant Trapper. Means that looks like Morey's really hoping to do some blocking against Strasky here.
So I was saying Shanna is one of the only 2-drop that can allow such a fast win.
Oh dear. Aether Glider.
Oh.
Destroy your Kraxos. And then a big attack now.
Attacking,
And Moray has nothing to say about it because the Easter Glider by itself is going to be enough. Oh no, with the Invoke the Divine, he had a little bit more life to play with there, Andre Strasky. And that is that. Game number 1 going in very, very convincing terms towards Andre Strasky.
Turns.
The thing is, Raf, Matteo Mori was punished by stumbling on mana. And I think had he had that 5th land, had he had that Teferi, Traxos still untapped, would have been a very different game.
Would he have been?
Yeah, because we would have had at least one untapped blocker in the face of that attack for 11.
The Trapper? Yeah. The Traxos would have been tapped.
No.
No, he would have tapped it.
Sure, but he then would have still had, would have had one more blocker.
Yeah, he could have blocked.
Yeah, his life total would have been highly buffered there, and maybe that would have given him enough time to get it done with old mate Teferi, but that's the way that it goes now. As we move now to Table C, Carmine Daniello versus Ivan Flock and Multani Yavimaya's Avatar dominating this battlefield in conjunction there with Tatyova, I should say.
That's a pretty good combo.
It's pretty insane.
So if Multani happens to die, you get to bring 2 lands back to your hand.
Yeah. Which you then
play them again and then draw and
Oh dear. Okay. Well.
Yeah, but Multani's gonna come back. I don't worry too much about that.
Once the dust settles, just a lonely Saproling there, in addition to the big flying chook on the other side of the battle screen.
Ivan's on
battle screen? On the other side of the battle screen, Rav.
Battle screen, yeah. So he has to make sure Multani doesn't hang out in the graveyard for too long because the Phyrexian scriptures.
Oh yeah, it's actually that's got surprisingly relevant text here. Saproling migration.
Well, could be relevant, but
excuse me. Go ahead.
But Multani's out of the graveyard.
Spore Swarm there at an instant speed, deploying 3/1/1s. And we're going to see Vicious Offering.
And yeah, he's attacking for lethal anyway, so
an attack for 3 now.
No relevance from the third chapter of the scriptures.
No, we ended the story before we got to right before the end of the book. So that was the way that it goes there. Phyrexian scriptures not able to save Andrea Chibak there, and that means that Thomas Hendricks joins Andre Strasky in winning game number 1. Ivan Flock looks to be still doing business with his opponent Carmine Daniello, though, because Daniello did get up in game number 1. So not the clean sweep on the right-hand side of the screen. And all players on shuffle mode. Let's have a look at the standings now and see what's going on there. You can see quite a few players sitting pretty at the top of the tables there. And Raf, 19 points is an odd number to have at this late in the tournament. A lot of draws happening.
So no one's undefeated. No one's undefeated.
Well, no one is.
Well,
no one has won every single game that they've played. Yes, no one's won every match.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, in 5th place, David Besso, talent player. He had stopped for a while now. I saw him playing with his team. He lives in England now. He was one of the Italian pros a couple of years back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's just enjoying playing Magic now. He only plays the team events.
We've got quite a number of well-known names, headlined, of course, by the mighty Martin User. You see him in 8th position with his teammates Gregor Kowalski and Petr Sachurek on 18 points. They did pick up a loss earlier in the day, but they'll still be sitting pretty there for a strong day 2 appearance. In addition, Sveinung Bjornerud is on 19 points. You may have seen that is before we popped over to table number 2. Screen number 2 here for these players.
The battle screen.
This is the actual battle screen. Yes, indeed. Battle screen here showing us what's going on. And looks like quite a number of siblings have come out. Not only the Griffensteiners, we also have the Dosch brothers here as well.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's it.
Is that all?
But I mean, there are going to be more. There are plenty of others as well.
Is that Florian Koch?
I'm not sure that's Andreas Gans, yeah, and the teammate there, Linden.
Exit 1.
So now back to Matteo Mori and Andre Strasky. Andre Strasky winning on the back of Shanna Cisse's legacy very quickly in game number 1. Pegasus Corsa here, the first play of the game for Mori, but Strasky has the answer in Pierce the Sky. Davenon Trapper for Strasky here as he taps his lands to the left like a normal human being.
Of the Davenon family?
The
Archers? They're
not. It's not a family. It's a matriarchal order of.
It's a band
of archers.
Yeah. Davenon Archer.
Yep.
What else? Davenon. There are a couple of Davenon cards.
Call the Cavalry, and here it is.
One of my favorite common.
And in for 3 now. In the face of an Icy Manipulator, however, Strasky's going to have to go wide if he wants to continue to push that through damage.
A 1/3 blocker. Tetsuko Umezawa.
And we have, in addition to that, a Mesa Unicorn. So there she is, the fugitive. A descendant of Toshiro. Who was the other one?
Tetsuo.
Tetsuo?
Yeah.
Yep. Wonder if she's still got that jite lying around, the old family heirloom. And a Mishra's self-replicator here for Strasky.
That's a token.
In comes the cavalry.
Token deck, green-white token on Andre's side.
Mhm.
Separaling migration, Mishra's self-replicator, Shana. This is the kind of green-white deck I like in this format. I don't like the green-white decks that try to go big.
Yeah.
The Baloth and
No, you want to go wide.
you want to go wide.
You wanna
Yeah.
go wide for sure.
If you have the right spells to do that, it's great.
Back to Strasky now. As we see Kraxos come down once again here for Moray.
Oh wow, we can see a lot of. There's going to be a lot of golems here. A lot of constructs. Because the set first Saga, and the last one of the last chapter of this song.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty good.
The last verse of this song going to be real
verse, yeah.
good, yep. If we see Strasky continue to hustle and bustle like this.
Short sword to make 2 guys now.
Paying the cost here with the Mishra self-replicator. Replicating itself all over the show here. Now 2 copies of it can make 2 more fellows.
We might have the copies, the real copies in the feature match. No, we don't. Steve says no. There's no token. All right, so we don't have one.
Oh, it's like the old pack rat.
No, sometimes we have the actual copies, not copies, but printed copy
like
of
the
card.
Jace Cunning Castaway with token
Yeah, we had that.
stuck on it there. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. No, not quite this time. Not quite. But those Mishra self-replicators, they have the same text, so it grows exponentially, Frank?
It is exponentially.
Exponentially. It's been given the tick. Yeah. It's been given a well, okay. He's making okay. He's got graph paper. All right. Yep. He's all right. He's open
Ooh.
Wolfram Alpha. We'll be back with him in a minute. Okay. All right.
Here comes the Djinn of the Lamp.
Big 5/6 now. And that untaps the Traxos rather neatly. And let's listen to that second verse of the Song of Freyalise. So let's see what's up now for Strasky. He's having a quick read of Song of Freyalise. Oh yeah, it's really good, isn't it? Cracking tune.
It's
Number 1 banger.
the hit song.
It's a hit song.
So it's going to make 3/3 constructs.
Yeah, and they've all got, of course, trample, vigilance, reach line, flying, lifelink, banding,
Of course.
horsemanship, hexproof, double strike.
No, only vigilance, trample, and destructible, and
Yeah.
+1/+1,
And +1/+1.
and that's it.
And that's it. Still a pretty good song.
I'd wake up to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Matoma remix.
The unplugged.
Yeah. Freyalise Unplugged. The Tiny Desk concert with Freyalise on NPR. That'd be fantastic. So, Moray, he's counting him up. And we're going to see, oh, look at that. The clutch blessed light, just like that.
That was right on time.
Yeah. Yep, he has...
It might be too late, but the next turn would have been definitely too late.
No, that blessed light has hit that Song of Freyalise like a big pizza pie. That's Amore.
So how do you say scratching the CD? It's been scratching.
Yeah.
Scratch the CD, so it never plays.
Scratch the CD.
It never played the last track.
Just can't get last track. CD's been busted up. Oh dear.
Oh, and Zahid also blessed by the light.
Yep, that scratch CD is also it's had some collateral damage here.
Still, there's a lot of stuff, and only 3 creatures and an icy manipulator on Mateo's side.
Yeah, and let's not forget all those tokens are 2/2s that
Yeah.
can make more 2/2s.
If there's a historic spell on Andre's side,
Especially a cheap one.
something that costs less than 4,
Yeah.
2 or less,
Yep. He can
that
make
would be 4 tokens.
he can double the number of tokens he has.
Yeah, the tokens you're seeing are self-rep.
Let's see what's up here with Stransky's attacks. Still facing off this Traxos. The Scourge of Krug has been untapped. And so he's laying out how he's expecting his opponent to block here. Counting out those creatures once again. Still a fair few of them, Andre.
And there's not going to be any trick because the plane is going to be used to activate the icy manipulator.
He hasn't done that the old grandpa trick of putting his land with his icy.
Oh, I love that. I would love to see that again. I felt old, man. I felt like, oh.
How don't you just feel old every day when you wake up and your knees like creak with and you got dust coming out of you and that sort of thing?
I'll show you the dust.
Yeah.
I'll show you the dust in my knees.
For those of you who haven't ever shared a hotel room with Raphael Levy, there are some dark secrets that emerge from.
What?
You got to sleep with one of those eye masks on, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's a classic grandpa move.
Ancient Animus. Killing the unicorn.
Yep.
Getting 2 life in the process.
Yeah, Moray's life total is buffered by that, but still a big attack now for Strasky.
What happened to the knight?
The tap knight at the top?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. What's going on there?
He has a vigilance. Is he
It's got
attacking?
vigilance, mate. Is it attacking?
He's probably attacking.
Okay. So Strasky has managed to tap Strasky has tapped a creature with vigilance, which is a strange thing.
Oh no, that was the icy.
Or was it icy manipulator that tapped it down?
So
Okay,
that's
so
why.
yeah,
It doesn't.
makes sense.
Tapping does that.
Not enough here for Matteo Moray, and he's going to have to take his licks. Andre Strasky improves to 2-0, and that means that he draws his team ever closer. Ever closer.
Did he have the Renus Blast in hand?
It'll ruin...
Did he have it in hand?
I don't know, man. He definitely had it at some point somewhere. But right now we're moving to Table B. Andreas Schubach and Thomas Hendricks. Hendricks just has to win this game, and he does just like that. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote. That is the end of the match between Moray, Schubach, and Daniello. Andre Strasky, Thomas Hendricks, and Ivan Flock. Ivan Flock didn't win a game, but has been carried across the line just like that. My friends, we're going to bring it back to the booth now. Riley Knight alongside Raphael Levy. Now, the normal order of business, of course, at the end of our live match would be to head over to Time Walk Magic. And we're going to do just that, except there's a special twist on our Time Walk Magic to close out the coverage of day number 1. Rich Hagen is going to jump into the booth for a segment we're calling Extra Turns. He's going to be joined by a very special guest, and they're going to go over some of the last round action together. I tell you what, you're not going to want to miss it, my friends. Fans of Rich Hagen are going to be very pleased with what's lining up. With what's lined up, it's going to be interesting stuff, Raph. But let's have a look at the broader takeaway from today. What's some of the stuff that stood out in your mind? What are maybe some of the lessons you've learned about Dominaria Limited from what we've seen at day 1 of GP Bologna?
So at least the Team Limited is not actually that far from the draft format. From what I've learned from drafting, the format is not fast. There are a few 2-drops, creatures that cost 2, that are good and they're aggressive, but otherwise they're mostly defensive. And you play them only to counter a potential aggressive draw from your opponent. But in the late game, they're mostly useless. So the decks tend to aim at a longer game, at like 4 or 5 drops.
Okay.
4 or 5. They want to have better, more useful 4 and 5 drops, and the games go longer, and we see the games like stalling a little bit, and something breaks the stalemate, and then we get to a player attacking with the flyers, and that's why we've seen the Cloud Reader Sphinx being so good, because it's a common 3/4 flyer. It's not too far from elemental, just like 1 point of power away, and it's go through your draws. You get to put the lands on the bottom, get to the active cards. In the long game, when you're in a draw battle, that's like drawing 3 cards pretty much.
Scry 2, it's like drawing 3 cards.
Well, you have you have the 3/4 and 2 cards.
It clears away the junk for sure, and it finds the cards you need.
So you get to that point in the game where you're in control and you're going to keep the control. With lands being not that useful, because except for Kicker, you mentioned it earlier in the round, in the previous rounds, you have Kicker to like use the extra lands, but the Kicker spells on except for Fight with Fire, they're not all that much powerful. So the lands of like land number 7, 8, 9, 10, they are pretty useless.
Okay.
So you need the cards to make up for the extra lands you're going to draw.
We're going to see exactly how things go in tomorrow, of course, during day number 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing how players get across it, of course, with a new sealed ball. And I'm hoping you're going to join us there as well. But right now, my friends, we're going to take a break. We're going to make room for Rich Hagan and his guest. You're not going to want to miss this. Stick around for extra turns right here and right now. But right now, it's Raph and I stepping out of the booth and saying goodnight. But stick around because, of course, Rich Hagan will be with you in just a few moments. We'll see you back here soon.
Hello everyone, I'm Rich Hagan and I'm welcoming you to Extra Turns. That's the bit at the end of round 8 where we show you the time walk match, probably a little bit faster than real life. You have to excuse the voice, it's very noisy in here, and well, by the end of the time walk I may not be able to speak to you at all. Some of you would think that's a blessing. But I have a very special co-host with me here for Extra Turns. And this co-host, let me tell you a bit about them. His favourite flower is the carnation. He's a fan of big band jazz, especially Harry Connick Jr. He doesn't eat meat, though he is carnivorous, and he loves Carn on the Cob. He's an iconoclast who's been part of the most iconic moments in Magic history. His favourite Star Trek movie is, of course, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. And whenever he casts a board sweeper in MTG, well, that's the Wrath of Khan. With a can-do attitude, he's the planeswalker you can't believe in. And as Robbie Williams would say, can't he kick it? Yes, he can. It's the man. That's not strictly true. It's the myth. That's not true either. It's the legend. That bit's right. Here he is. It's Khan. Hello. How are you, buddy? You all right? Great to see you. Welcome along to the booth. That shot's not really working for me, Max. Do you think you just like get it a little bit, kind of, yeah, if you would, lovely. Yes, super. So anyway, Khan, I thought what we do. Oh, I tell you what. Let me get you a headset here. Hang on. Yes, if you could bend just a little bit, that'd be lovely. Thanks. There we go. All right, good. Yeah, that'll. All right, here we go. So, I went on Twitter and asked for some questions that some of you might want to ask Khan. So here they are, the top 8 questions for Khan. Khan, question number 1. Do you feel emotions? Okay, I've given you a microphone, but anyway. Spencer asks, do you feel heavy? Do you know that you're made out of metal? Have you broken anyone's chairs by sitting? Yeah, this is going super well. Do you feel any attachment to male pronouns? Or is it just too time-consuming to fix everyone's speech? Okay. Next up, Phyrexian Trader. Now, don't feel bad about this, but the question is, do you feel guilty about Mirrodin? What do you plan to do about New Phyrexia? You're going... No, all right. Do you know how to make the Weatherlight plane shift? Yes, you do. Okay, good. And a couple more. Don't you think that turn 3 is, a little bit early? Yeah, I think we can blame that one on Urza, like so much in life, right? Okay, and the last question that we got asked on Twitter for you, Ryan asks, if someone taps you, do you go thunk or do you go ting? You're a thunk kind of guy, I think. All right, that was a little bit enigmatic, wasn't it? I tell you what, let's see if you do any better at part 2 of the coverage audition. We'll go into some match play, okay? I'll do the play-by-play. You be the expert. Anytime you want to chime in with the analysis, maybe we'll see some of you in the feature match area. We'll see what happens. Okay, Steve, if you would, roll the tape. It's time for Time Walk here in Extra Turns. And it's Francesco Pini and Luca Begazzoni and Nicholas Sarti against Arne Huschenbeth, Toralf Severin and Jasper Grimmer. Now, they're all at 5 and 2. So what happens here is that the winner gets to be in, because that's what winning in is. The loser gets to go home. So what we're going to do, we're currently at normal speed. I'll tell you what, Uncle Steve, let's push it to 150 if you'd be so good. So we're underway. There's a Tempest Gin over there on the right-hand side of the screen. That's very good for Toralf Severin. That's why you play blue, because blue is the best colour in Magic. Everyone knows this. Meanwhile, Elfheim Druid's trying to ramp out because that's what green decks do. And as a result, we've got a Yavimaya Sapphire, which is going to go, here's a 2-2, and here's a 1-1. You keeping up, Khan, all right? Good. So there's the Tempest Gin, and now it's time for a very, very beautiful piece of artwork, I think we can all agree, as the first counter hits the Saga on the right-hand side of the battlefield right now. And we head towards the mid part of the game. And yeah, why don't we all just have a little pause and have a little read of the red Saga sitting there for you. Sagas, aren't they just fantastic, by the way? First Eruption, utterly beautiful. I think we can agree. 1 damage to each creature without flying. Step 2, 2 red mana. Step 3, sacrifice mountain. If you do, it's 3 damage to everything. But right now, it's heading towards adding 2 red mana to Toralf Severin's pool, who's bashing in with his Flying Tempest Djinn. So, hope you're all enjoying the coverage. Khan, anything you want to say at this point? No. Okay, good. Yeah, we'll have words after this. Meanwhile, second counter goes on the first eruption for Toralf Severin. And to be honest, I don't mind saying, Steve, I think 1.5 is still a little bit sluggish. Why don't we turn things up to double the speed? As we see an Academy Drake come down, and that has its counters on, because 5 mana plus the 2 mana from the first eruption is 7 mana. That gets you to a 4/4 fly, which is pretty outstanding stuff. The Evermire Sapid is going to attack in, and it's not going to get blocked because Toralf Severin wants to keep his flying air force. Meanwhile, Primordial Worm, bang! It's a 7/6. There's 3 damage to everything. The Primordial Worm is left there of that. So. Severin with the Drake and the Djinn piling in. Luca Bergazzoni is down to 7, and we've got just about end of game number 1. And because it's Time Walk, can't you know what that means? It means we get to go straight on. So somehow we've got on to this next match, which may not still be Luca Bergazzoni against Toralf Severin. We'll see how the life totals change. I imagine they'll change very shortly over there. It's 18 plays 5 in this one, as we've now got Wrath Capation. It's more flying action. Danitha coming in. There's the 3/1 Knight of Benalia as well. We've got a Wrath Capation on the other side of the board. We would have, except it's gone away. And that's the end of that one. Well, thanks for that. And now we're back to, well, who knows where. Now we're at 1-0 to Jasper Grimmer, 1-0 to Toralf Severin, 1-0 to Francesco Pini. Hope you're keeping up. I'm certainly not. And how about you, Khan? How you doing? You all right? Super. That's really good to know. So on we go. With the Llanowar Elves powering out a turn 2 accelerant, and on we go as the 4/3 comes up piling in on this side of the battlefield. And Severin's taking a look at this. This is game 2 of Bergazzoni against Severin. Severin's down to 14, and this is aggro all the way. Yes, indeed it is, and that is because there is a Keldon Raider aplenty, a pair of 4/3s. One of them is going to get sent away. I missed that, to be honest. It happened in the blink of an eye. Yes, it did. Question for my director: is this match actually over, or are they still playing in real-world magical terms? Okay, so on we go. Let's see if we can get things a little bit faster here. Let's turn it up to 2.5, because what's better than 1 times the magic? It's 2.5 times the magic. And Toralf Severin, he's down to 9. Pini is 1-0 up. Bergazzoni 1-0 down here in this match to Severin. Sati 1-0 down to Jasper Grimmer. And this time it's the Cloud Reader Sphinx that comes down. It's a 3/4. Here's the Cold Water Snapper, the 4/5 hexproof, because everyone loves hexproof. Isn't it just the best arc, the best mechanic in Magic? I think we can all agree. Maybe Khan doesn't agree. Khan, you're shaking your head. Okay. Again, anytime you want to chime in, big buddy, help yourself. That is what we're paying you for, but apparently you didn't get the memo. Okay, what? Don't you prod me. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what Bergazzoni can do here in game number 2. Is he going to take it against Severin? It seems very likely, because there's an awful lot of stuff coming in here. And one Keldon Raider bites the dust. But Severin's down to 2, and now he's coming out. Here's the Tempest Djinn. He gets to remove Shivan Fire. That gets rid of 1 creature on Bergazzoni's side. Is Toralf Severin going to stabilize? I don't think he is. Smash. That's 1 game all. Let's carry on. I tell you what, let's go. It's the final game. It's 1-1 in Bergazzoni against Severin. It's still 1-0 against Grimmer against Sati. Pini's still 1-0 up over Hushenbeth, and Hushenbeth is the match that we turn to now, and there are our saprolings in play. Vicious Offering has just happened. Danitha Capation is sitting there on the other side. Pini is up to 27 life. That's a lot of life, Khan, I've got to say, if you don't mind me saying so. I know you don't mind me saying so, because you just stand there like a lump. Anyway, moving on, here's a Thalid coming down. That looks like a yeah, well, I'm just saying it like it is. So moving on, Pini at 1-0 up over Hushenbeth. There's the Blood Tallow Candle. It costs 1/6 to activate, and more legendary action coming down. Is that Baird, the Steward of Argive? I think it is, my friends. I think it is. That's what's happening there. Please breathe. Some people don't want me to, Draken's Twitch. You're so lovely in chat. I swear, I'm going to get Khan to say something once we get out of this match. But to do that, let's go even faster. Let's crank it to ×3, if you would, Steve. 31 plays 12. 1-1 in the middle match, Bergazzoni Severin. 1-0 Grimmer. 1-0 here to Francesco Pini. He's put on Sarah's wings. He's been to the build your own Baneslayer workshop, that's for sure. And that's what he's done, because it's +1/+1, it's vigilance, it's lifelink, it's all the good keywords you want. Meanwhile, Spore Crown Thunder has come down, and look at all those saplings getting bigger, and look at them all getting smaller, because the Eviscerate is 3 in a black at sorcery speed. Davenant Trapper comes down. It's 3-2. What a lovely throwback that is to all the Banalish trappers from the day, and the Davenant, whatever you call them, from back in Alpha and Beta. Here's the 3-2 for 5 mana that gains Francesco Pini 3 life. He's up to 40. That's not going in the right direction for Arn Huschenbeth. It looks like Pini is well in control here. Is that how things are going to pan out? Question from Zane C1. Do I have a wife? I do. Do I need a husband? I don't. But thank you for the offer. You're very kind. I'll be with you in just a moment. Just hold that thought, because we're almost done here. I can feel it. Francesco Pini up to 40. Arn Huschenbeth on 6. Begazzoni and Severin still drawn. Now, here's a Baloth Gorget coming down for Toral Severin. More removal, because all the removal happens at 5 and 2. They've just got ways to kill everything in sight. Here's a Traxos. Oh, we love Traxos. 7/7 trample for 4 mana. That's going to be so good. And is it going to untap on a regular basis? He's piling in 7/7 trample. Trample's one of the best keywords in Magic. No denying that. And when you're at 40 life, you don't mind turning your thing sideways, do you? No, you do not. 1 life for Arn Huschenbeth. Pini is getting there. He's 1-0 up here. 1-1 in Begazzoni Severin. 1-0 to Grimmer against Sati. How much more of this have we got to go, Steve? That's what I want to know. So probably just a few minutes left. I'll tell you what, let's crank it all the way. Let's put it to 4 times the magic, because what's better than magic? 4 times the magic is better than magic, and this is the action coming in. That looks like an utter enormity. Is that Torgar? I think it's Torgar. Oh my God, what's happened there? How did that occur? On Huschenbeth at 140-1. It's going to be the best comeback since Lazarus if he can do it. And there we see Saga Time, and Blood Talokama goes away. Feeney attacks in. That's matched to him. So what does that mean? It's now 1-1 on the other tables, and now suddenly 2-1 to Luca Begazzoni, and that's the game set match to Francesco Pini. And there we are. How was that for you? Yeah, so that's the end of our coverage of today. We're done here in Hall 33, just opposite Aisle A, as you can see. Match is still going on. We'll bring you final standings on the website, of course, when they come along. But tomorrow, we'll be back. Well, I'll be back. Not so sure about the big guy here. So, just, I've got to say, I'm actually a bit disappointed, because the thing is, my people and your people, this was not the conversation we had. You should book him, they said. He's so funny, they said. Tells great jokes. Very gregarious. Very outgoing. Listen, my friend, let me say, if this is you liberated, I'd hate to see you repressed. No, what's he doing? Help! Stop it! Stop it! No! Help it! Ah! Kill the stream! Kill the stream! Kill the stream! Gah!